Hi everybody, welcome to CRJ 410, criminal procedure. Um, there's not a instructor who's a lawyer that doesn't love to teach this course. For those of you that are going into law enforcement, this is a great place to start your basic knowledge of search and seizure and admissions and confessions. You'll receive training in this in the academy, but getting a good course now for a good solid foundation is really good. Those of you that are going to go to law school, another great place to get to get a basic knowledge of the course. There's two ways to look at this course, and the first way is course is based a lot on the concept of social justice. So you're going to see a lot of topics that are written in a way to make you think about and critique the way that maybe the police operate, or whether or not a particular approach or idea is lawful or beyond what we would consider constitutional. The second way is to look at this as a procedure course. And what that is it tells you how to do things, how the police do things. When do you need a warrant? When can the police search without a warrant? Probably even more important. When can the police make an arrest without a warrant? One thing that comes up quite a bit is when can the police use force? And that idea of whether it's the use of force is lawful. And it's a huge controversy right now. And let's face it, it's something that you're going to see just about every day when you open the newspaper, when you hop online to look at news headlines. You're going to see where somebody's accusing the police of an unlawful use of force. And that idea of social justice, which is pretty big discussion now, and the idea of crime control and due process, all those things intersect. And we'll see that in this course. Just a brief overview of the course. Each week you're going to have a discussion board. And the discussion board is got two phases to it. The first is your initial response. There's precise instructions in the syllabus, just a couple of things. Make sure you use resources. Don't use the textbook. You'll lose points if you use the textbook. And the reason for me not wanting you to use the textbook is I want you to get even better at it. It's a 400 level course, so you should have some exposure, but even better at the idea of research, as opposed to parroting back what Dr. Fradella and the other authors have said in the book. So I want you to look at outside resources to support your work. And you also should look at oppositional research. Research that is all the same, should be suspect, because there's going to be differing opinions. The reason is we're human, and one person's research that shows an absolute truth, there's going to be 10 other people that have oppositional research that say that the truth is somewhere else. For those of you that have taken a basic policing course, you've probably come across Kelling and Moore's eras of policing. And that's pretty much the gold standard. I mean, that is how it is. That is what's accepted. In 1999, a couple of researchers out of the University of Minnesota, David and Melissa Barlow, wrote a social economy of community policing. And it takes quite a bit of a different approach to it. Talks about slave patrols, talks about community policing as image management, pretty controversial topics. but again, oppositional research. So I want you to think about that when you look at these questions. The first discussion board, I'll probably be pretty lenient and maybe give you some guidance on stuff. I will pop in usually every day and make a comment or two on somebody's work, and I highly encourage everybody to think about those propositions that I mentioned and maybe post an answer. If you post an answer to what I've posted, you get credit for follow-up post. So that's the initial post. 10 points, due on Wednesday. Second part are your follow-up posts. Follow-up posts are due by Sunday. Make sure that your initial post and your first 2 follow-up posts are on different days. I need you to hit 3 different days during the week, and you can do more. You can do more on those 3 days. I just need those things to be on different days. And the reason is that many people will wait until wait till Sunday night at 11:45, go, oh dang, I forgot to do that. Pop on the computer and throw something up there, which is one, non-substantive, 2 is just not very well written, and it doesn't really help the course. So make sure that you post early and post often. The second part the second thing you're going to see is you're going to see 2 short papers. One's on plea bargaining and one's on police use of force. Both kind of social justice approaches to them. APA format, face page, reference page, and in-text citations. I'm not going to limit or give you minimums for your sources, but you need to support your work. And you need to make sure that your papers don't say a whole lot, I think. Even though they're the way that the developers of the course have written the papers, they've suggested that, what's your opinion on. I would work on being able to write a response or write your paper that supports your opinion, and that it doesn't start out, I think that this or that. I'd like you to say, according to Smith or Jones or whoever your resource is, this and this and this, and to produce or propose your opinions in that fashion. Remember, I don't mean to be a pain about it, but you're undergrads, and you've got a long ways to go before you become an authoritative figure. Even if you're in the business, meaning you're working for a law firm, you're doing internship or clerking or a paralegal, or you're a cop, your exposure to these topics are limited to your experience. So if we're talking about use of force, you're going to be limited to your experience, and you're going to say, well, look, people, controversial cases generally have one thing in common, and that's resistance. If people comply, you don't have uses of force. Well, that's obviously, that's very true, but there's a social implication of the use of force, which social scientists may be able to provide a different, not necessarily better, but a different point of view, and maybe one that supports what you're thinking. You'll have, in the second week, you need to send me via Dropbox your paper topic. I've given you a list of potential topics, and go from there. We use Turnitin, so don't use a paper from a different course that is really on point, because it'll show up in Turnitin as being plagiarized. So it has to be your own original work for this course. So then later in Module 5, the paper itself is due. So get on it right away. The one thing with this course is you can't wait to the last minute. um, to prepare for exams or to get papers going, even the short papers. I'm pretty particular on papers. I grade. I may make a few marks about grammar and punctuation or something, and for the first paragraph or two, and then I stop. But it does really hurt your score. So, just keep that in mind. I'm looking at content. If you answer the prompts, you earn a C. If you go beyond the prompts and provide better in-depth analysis, then you're going to do better. And then we have 2 exams. The first one is the midterm exam. It's a 50-point exam, and it is multiple choice. 1, 2, and 3 of the modules. I'm saying a ton here. 1, 2, and 3 are the modules that are covered under the, I did it again, that are covered under the midterm, and the balance of the course is covered in the final is accumulative. So make sure that you're prepared for those. The final is 100 points. It's got 3 short essays at the end, so make sure you allocate your time to do those 3 short essays. No essays in the midterm. Okay, that's the assignments for the course, the basic overview, and good luck. We'll see you all in class.